Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Safe. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get this party started and start looking over some of the action of today. All right, so crude oil. I mean, we're getting a bounce off of these lows around 85 half, and the market shifted the cloud and the harmony trading swing trade indicator, and we're looking at basically target number one is hit. Pullbacks are buyable against that 87 and also the low of 86. Target number two is going to be 90.34. And if that tests well, then target number three can reverse that captain setup that started that whole rotation. Good morning, Oscar. So really, we're kind of looking for pullbacks as a buying opportunity right now in crude oil, but that's on more of a more of a scalping manner versus a swing trade manner. Because if you look at the daily on crude, we're still kind of struggling from a rotation and a channel that is a short channel. So we could come in there at 91 and or 92 and kind of fade that behavior. So that's going to be coming into a resistance that's has held fairly well in the past weeks from July through August. And to be exact, you could look at it from this perspective right here. That's the channel. And anything within this channel, anything short of us going to 96.45, we're pretty much looking within those sequence of rallies as an opportunity to go short on a swing trade basis. But that doesn't mean that on an intraday basis, we're not going to see a bit of pockets of buying interest, and that's what we're seeing right now. Okay, so when we're moving on to Russell, so Russell, what's significant about Russell is you have this captain setup short that started here. Price action came to the bottom end of that range, came and retested it one more time, and then that whole structure collapsed, confirming a pause and a reversal in price action. Right now, we're experiencing channel number one on the short side, and that is right here. If this candle that we are in closes lower, meaning that we are closing below 91.6, and if the market actually ends up doing that, then that will start a sequence that will push the price into potentially target number two, which is 1975.2. That is an important level for us to kind of be concerned about. Any brick above 2006.2 that can reassert the longs and potentially shift the swing trade indicator from short to long. But so far, there is a bit of a pressure coming in, and definitely that Globex at 1991.9 is going to be a critical level for today and throughout the day. We continue, if we break it and we continue to trade under it, then that's going to set the stage for some selling pressure. Here we go, and we are looking at crude oil. Crude oil is grinding lower from these highs that we saw around the 1820, and we hit target 1 through 3. Target number 4 is going to be 1758.9. The shorts are in control, and the important level that we need to protect is going to be 1795.3. If we continue to trade under that level, yes, we are going to see continued selling pressure in gold that could take us to target number 4. ES, we're seeing, I mean, a lot of the indices are kind of mimicking themselves right now. We're seeing ES hitting and bouncing off the Globex session price, which is 4279.5. A couple of things that can happen here. 4273.5. If we close under that level, then that will set the stage to hitting target number 1, and that would be an inception trade short. That would be a signal to go short. If we go and close right under 4273, because at that point you're generating a short signal, and also you're trading under Globex, and you have a swing trade indicator giving you prices lower. So that's going to be a critical level today, and especially at the open for ES. If we see that price, then I'm going to be trying to aggressively look into shorting opportunities. All right, so NQ. I mean, we're now looking at some of these instruments on a daily basis. Obviously, if we just kind of look at the channel reading of all of this, we are in the channel number 1 on the upside. Okay, and the market is in an inside day, and meaning that the high and the low of today is within the high and the low of the prior day, and that's typically a consolidated behavior that we need to be cautious of. Market can hit that 13,328 and test the integrity of this channel. If that happens, that would be that will produce some selling pressure that could take us all the way down to retest the middle of the range, which is 12,816. And let's take a daily. We talked about that. We talked about gold. All right, and gold is testing the top end of that range and coming back in, consistent with the selling pressure that we've been seeing. Daily RTY, let's see here. Russell 2000, the same thing that you're seeing in NQ pretty much, but it's showing a lot more strength than overall, more strength than NQ. We're going to start looking at some of these stocks too, like Tesla, Amazon, Google, Netflix. So I'm starting to populate that data, and throughout the day, we'll look at them and talk about them once we have more data on this stuff. Okay, so now let's dig in deeper into NQ right now. We're trading under Globex. We're about 3 minutes away from the cash market open, and we are coming into a level which is 479. If we break that level, that means that this market is in sync on the short side right now. We will be in sync on the short side. Right now, we're not. But that would be a critical level for us to close and clear first thing in the morning at the open. And that will set the stage for an actual continuation trade on the short side from that break that we had yesterday. Okay, so we're here we go. We're hitting target number 2. I'm gonna post an order and just see how things are. Here we go. Yeah. Let me just post an order. Here you go. Yeah, good morning, Omer. Good morning, Oscar. Yeah, yeah, I'll be putting Apple as well on that list. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the cash market open. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Let's have a good time. And let's make some money. And let's make good decisions. ES. Now we talked about ES a little bit, and we're right down in the middle of the range right now. So again, the critical level is at 78, 77 level. If we break that level, then we going to be experiencing a bit of a selling pressure. Right now, the market is out of sync between the longs and the shorts. Here we come. All right, we took a short here. It's a little bit, noisy, but we made a little bit, and let's see what we can do with a bit of stability here. Maybe we'll run up here. They're gonna try to give. I mean, they're gonna try to play around with it, but right now the 200 and the 100 are in sync on the short side, and we're gonna be looking for rallies as a shorting opportunity. We have Globex right above us here at 13,503, and that needs to hold. It may get tested, but let's see. They're trying to walk it down, and it's too early in the morning. But let's see if we can get down to the 452 here. And typically, the morning, it's fairly volatile, and we may get a two-sided market at some point here. But right now, what I see is the 200 and the 100 are in sync, and we definitely want to explore the short side. What will change things is if you break the 554, that will change things around. Target number 3 is hit, and that's the 464. And the next stop is going to be the 51. Hey, good morning, Ken. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Safe. Good morning, Digitron. And here you go. Yeah, so we're at the bottom end of that range, and at the bottom end, or we just broke the Globex band. Yeah, so we're gonna get a, most likely a retest of it. Hey, Omer, how are you? So what are we seeing here? We're seeing a pause, and we expected a pause. And we may not even expect a bit of a pushback into that 70-80 range in this rotation. Typically, the market will fade the high end of the Globex band and come back at the bottom of it and then fade back into the middle or close to it. So I'm not going to be too excited by going short right here. We already passed target number 3 and the market is pausing. So I'm just going to let this market do its own thing. Plus, it's early in the morning and we want to see more of price action before we make our next decision. The market right now is in sync on the short side. We have ES that has been grinding a little bit lower, and it did break the harmony, the Globex band as well to the downside. It typically, again, in all these instruments, you'll see them come to these levels right here and just at a minimum consolidate. And that's what you're seeing right now. And here you go. You see that? And we are in an we basically we have a disconnect between the 200 and the 100, and that will give us the scenario in which we have to wait for the market to do a couple of things. One, break down to 440 again. Second, you could run up to Globex to retest that, but fail to go above 526 and reverse, and that will get us short again. Or the market goes all the way back up to 526, and if they do that, then pullbacks are viable, but I would be cautious of trying to get long, because that area as a whole is very susceptible for selling pressure. So I'm ultimately looking for the market to reconnect on the short side, then start looking in that direction. But we're not ready for that yet. We need one of these three scenarios to actually happen, and then we'll act. Hmm. Yeah, interesting. They're putting a captain setup long right here on the 20 NT Rinko. So we want to see how that one is going to be handled. Ah, all right. No fill on that one. So they put a captain setup and retested it, and I felt there's going to be a good fade into that 500, and which we'll see here in a minute, and that's okay. I'm not gonna. I am not gonna chase anything. Yeah, if I'm gonna take a long, it's gonna be with a small number of contracts. Yeah. If I can get a short signal to show up, then it's gonna be with more contracts. And here comes that test of 500 and into the 503 potentially, which is Globex. There you go. See that captain setup and that retest of that captain setup? That's what got me interested in putting on an order. I mean, why is this thing? So we hit Globex to the tick and we faded it. I mean, the odds are we should be able to break above Globex. That'll be interesting. Really? So the expectation is to see 83 and then run up a little bit. No. Okay. Just gonna take a shot at it here and put a small stop. I'm gonna get out. It's just not acting correct here. The expectation is to see a quick run up into the 85, 90, and this market is doing this type of uh, dance. So we're not interested in that quickly. Here we go. Okay, that's what we want to see. Now they're putting, see that they're putting a captain setup tested, it ran up, and then they put a captain setup short here, and they're running it down. So we're going into a bit of consolidation phase here. Now, if they break 52, 452, then we are gonna start getting short and getting a little bit aggressive with the short. So we had an expectation here. And that expectation is for a quick run up into that 90. And when the market paused and it just couldn't go anywhere and just kept consolidating here, we felt that, there's no sense in just continuing to be in a trade that is not producing the expectation, especially that first half an hour of the day. There's a lot, the action is a lot faster and pauses have more meaning. So we got very close to that 52, but we did not close under that, and we need to actually close there. It looks like we're about to come in on that 52. Yeah, against the market. Okay, so they're firming it up. And that's what I'm saying. You got to get to that 52. Getting close is not enough. You just have to close below that 52. Okay. So yeah, they're spending a little bit of time playing around. Yeah, yeah, I saw that, Omer. Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That was a good one, and I didn't even give it a one candle, but definitely the reversal here is a good reversal. And here they come again to that level, or they're getting close to it. Hmm. Right here, I'll take a. Really? Okay. Let's see how long we can hold on to this trade and see if we can get a push in a meaningful way. Ultimately, I want to see the prices below 20. And I'm going to have to go break even here. Plus a few ticks. If they put a captain setup, I got to get out of here. Would be unfortunate, but that's fine. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. And I need a flush here. And if that happens, then we're good. Okay, that's good. And let's see if we can get to target number 3. That'll be great. Gonna tighten it even a little bit further. Yeah, I'll take it here and see if we can get short again and see what that takes from us. But definitely now the market is in sync on the short side, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's, ultimately we have to hold on to some of these trades a little bit longer, but here you go. And it's getting to that target. Yeah, yeah, it's getting to that target. Yeah, so I mean, I got short here a little bit early. Well, I mean, yeah, not really. But they put a captain setup, and I'm glad that they failed it again. And then we added to it right there, covered at the bottom end of the Globex band. And when it paused here, I took it off. I took out the rest of it. Um, so far we had 3 decisions, and let's just keep working. Let's keep playing the game. Yeah, so how's everybody doing so far? Brad, good morning. Sheila, Ken, and Omer, how's everybody doing so far? Digitron, Oscar, Mark. Okay, good job, Omer. Hey, Samuel, doing good. Good deal. Yeah, yesterday is yesterday, right? Scalping ES short. Okay, just They just put a captain setup long right here, so you're just gonna have to be careful. They may run it up to 69 and retest NQ also between 55 and 65. So that is something that you're just gonna have to be conscious of. Digitron waiting for a long setup. Yeah, I mean it's you really would have to, we have to kind of close above Globex. At this point, we have to close above Globex, or they need to come in on the 50 NT Rinco and just put a captain setup or some formation at these lows. That tells me that I need to kind of consider the long. Oh yeah, yeah. The switch trades on the short side on the 50 was a good one too. There we go. So what is the market telling me right here? It's telling me that we are out of sync. Excuse me, out of sync. We are out of sync right now. The 200 and the 100 are not in harmony, and the market needs to go to 504 for the longs. They can come reassert themselves on the short side by breaking the 427 or run up to the 80, 90 and then fail again, and reverse the price action, and that will be another short. But the market is out of sync, and we're going to be waiting for a setup. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're looking at Tesla right now, and we're seeing very interesting stuff right now. Okay, so Tesla, put on a captain setup switch trade short, and that was a nice move from 909 to 96. Then did the same exact thing on the opposite side and put on a captain setup switch trade long right here for from 8 to 10. Okay, and we're still in that short rotation overall, but that's interesting to see on Tesla. And that momentum kind of broke around 913. Yeah, look at that. Boom, boom. So you're going to see a bit of a push in NASDAQ right now. Okay, but there is a channel, and that is a channel number one. Yeah, it's channel number one, just right here. So we're going to keep an eye on some of these stocks because they affect NASDAQ and how it moves. Now you see a captain setup switch trade on Tesla. I mean, that's gonna be a mover. All right, Netflix here, since we're sitting here waiting. So pretty much we broke channel number one. If this candle closes lower at 240, then that will reassert itself on the short side into the run up. You cannot break anything above Globex, which is 241. So that's Netflix right there. So what to do here? What to do here? So they're playing in and around the bottom end of this Globex band. I want to be patient here. I want to see, can we break to the 502? And if we can't, and we cannot do that fairly soon and quick here, then this market is going to roll over and flush. So you have target number 1 hit. You got to get to target number 2, which is 481. I mean, if they break the 70, they're putting a switch trade on the 50 NT Rinko. So we'll see what happens, because the market is out of sync. So if the market is out of sync, I should be more patient and gather more information. We hit target number 2 to the tick, and we came back in. I'm cutting my or lowering my exposure, and I'm looking for a run up into the 85 and more of a scalp than anything, but we'll see. I'm cutting it to only 5 points. It's either going to go here or it's going to stop me out for captain setup short. And I think it's going to go, but we'll see. Either way, I'm comfortable with whatever is going to happen here. Here it comes. Ah, come on. Here it comes. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, baby. Oh, we'll take it. I'll take it. And nothing wrong with that one. And nothing wrong with that one. So what happened here? I mean, it's you had a couple of things going on. Be honest with you, that just kind of told me, you scalp this to the long side. Good morning, Adam. Good morning. One is we got a switch trade on the 50 NT wrinkle, and the second thing, we on the 20 NT wrinkle we got switch trade, and then it turns out to be another switch trade. So those two things right there told me the market is setting up for a bit of a rally, and our attempts to break back down um, into that 40 level, it just could not happen. They held on the bottom end of this uh, uh, globe expand. So all these factors came in, and I was like, okay, I mean, I can take advantage of that for 10 points or so, and we did. I wasn't about to put too much size in it just because we are not in sync, but if I recognize a pocket of trading that I can take advantage of, then I'll just take it. 922, and let's just keep working. All right, you guys can see me right now or no? On stream, it looks like we got disconnected for a second. Hey, good morning. Maqbool, how are you? Good to see you, man. All right, so far for the day, the decisions that we have made, we didn't go too big on any of these contracts. We just kind of kept it small, two contracts here and there, and we are up 765 on, I think, let me see here, one decision, two decisions, three decisions, four, five decisions. It's fairly kind of just wanting to get a feel for what the price is doing. I mean, it's kind of early too. It's 9:26. We have plenty of time ahead of us, but that's what we've done so far. Yeah, no problem, Maqbool. No problem, my friend. Okay, Ken. So you ended up making good money on that one? Yes, 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 yes. So the big picture stuff is they're spending time in the middle of the range and spending time close to glowbacks. And once we get to those levels, they tend to fade it. So we have to take note of that behavior and be cautious of the fact that if we start breaking below that 50, that the market will get back in sync on the short side, and they already have tested this level like 3-4 times, the 903, the 503 level, and that could give uh, momentum on the downside a chance. Now, in ES, we have a captain set up short that just presented itself at 42.73. So that is something that can put a bit of pressure on the downside as well. Let's take a quick look at Tesla and see what we're dealing with on that one. Oh, well, they put a captain set up short right here. That's interesting. They need to protect that 14 quarter. There's a lot of captain setups in this instrument. That's good. And not only that, but they put a captain setup switch trade on ES. So that is important to see, because on the way up, that's going to hold between the 71 to 75 is going to be a solid resistance to any price action. So we're coming into critical behavior here that we need to be paying attention to. Here we go. So what are we going to do once we get to this point? Well, 53. Well, that's going to have to put me in a position where, I mean, once we get there, a position where I have to look for rallies as a shorting opportunity. And preferably, I need to see a new harmony wave established in order for me to participate. So we'll see. I mean, interesting how close we got to that level and not really broken it. I mean, like literally to within few ticks. Hmm. They have to break it, or otherwise this thing is gonna shift. Hmm. Oh, they're gonna put a switch trade right here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they don't seem like they're in a hurry. They're not. They don't seem like they're in a hurry to sell this thing off. Yeah. Uh, we're seeing ES if it closes below that 69.75. That would be a captain setup short again. Okay, wow. So switch trade. And we're getting close to closing that 200 NT Rinko candle. Wow. Yeah, they're building so many stops above and below this market right here. There's going to be a lot of stop above 504 and a lot of stops also below that 50. And they're just basically bouncing people around in the middle of the range, close to both critical levels. And they're trying to see where they can run the majority of the people. That's what they're trying to do right here. So we have to be patient. I have to be patient. And I have to be patient for the following events. One is to get a close of 53. So you get down to 53, then that will trigger me looking for shorts. Event number two, you break above 504. That will close the 200 NT Rinko to the long side. and then pullbacks can be buyable, but I'm going to be cautious of that due to the overhead resistance that we are experiencing in these levels. So those are the two events that I'm waiting on. Now, it is quite interesting what they're doing here. They're just like when they come very close to closing a candle and completely reverse it, that typically traps everybody in that candle and it runs it up, which is you've seen a lot of that going on right now. Okay, so we're in the middle of the range, right? In and around Globex. So they're selling the bottom end. They're bringing it to the middle. I mean, they could take it all the way back up to the top end of the range, which is 554, and then see how strong they are. And they're just basically playing the market in a range. That's what they're doing. That's what the market is doing. And their purpose, correct, Umar, is I mean they're in the process of building and taking stops in a tight rotation right now, and we have to be kind of more patient in a market like this. Like right now, the 200 and the 100 are in sync, right? I should be looking for longs on dips, okay? But what am I exactly looking for? If that is the environment, and the environment is consolidated, how should I treat it? I mean, I should be looking for a new harmony wave to show up, and if that happens, I should be in minimum number of contracts and just look for scalping opportunities in this environment and be selective. So if a new harmony wave shows up, then I need to be looking for a signal very close to the inception of that new harmony wave. And if that happens, then yeah, I'll take a trade to the long side. But otherwise, we're going to be patiently waiting. And you could see how even in ES, I mean, they're literally, that's at, what is that? 2, 4, 6 candle consolidation around Globex. Okay, and they actually closed a follow-up candle to the upside. Okay, let's see. I mean, and they established a new harmony wave, but there was no pullback. They literally just opened it up at 525. Yeah, they're gonna come and retest that 500. You see how they're, at least they're pausing here. I mean, they're not. They're playing in and around. They're playing in and around balance, basically. They're going above Globex, coming back under Globex, giving the impression of a breakout and breakdowns, and just kind of fading the market into a middle of the range, with the purpose of building stops. If you find yourself making money or made some money, ain't nothing wrong with kind of pulling back away from this type of environment and just wait for uh, bigger things. So, what would a bigger thing would look like, right? A big thing would be for the 200 NT Rinko to go and break and close below 452. Then that will tell me that the market made. Let me enlarge this for you. That tells me we had a high, a lower high, third lower high, fourth lower high, and with this one breaking down to 452, you have we have to that would be the fifth lower high. So that from a channel perspective, you're protecting this channel. We're exactly right at it. So that will be significant because you could literally take a swing trade short with a stop above 532 and look for target number one. That break, then target number two, which is 250, is a high probability event. So that is a big thing. That's a big structure for this market to happen. Now let's assume they don't do that and they break above the Globex band. Then you have this territory right here between 548 to 581, and that is going to be a huge resistance area, and the market can flush people and then turn back into the channel and establish channel number two. That would be another big thing the market can do. Okay. Now, if they decide to break 581 and 600 and start shifting the whole structure into a long, then good for them for doing it. That's a possibility. Okay. So where would I know, when would I know that? I mean, if you break that Globex band and you show momentum, then yes, this market is shifting back up to the long side. Okay. But the way this is moving, I think me waiting for a bit of a selling pressure and the market getting back in sync on the short side is a decent bet. But I'm not going to get ahead of it. Like, I'm not going to go, oh, let me get short right here and hopefully it'll get down to that 50, then I could add to it. I ain't going to do none of that. I will have to wait for the market to actually get there and then start to trade the short side. And here on the longs, since the market is in sync on the long side, I'm just going to have to be very picky to what signal I get into. And I have to be with the minimum number of contracts. So that's what's going on right now. Uh, Okay. Okay, Yanis. Absolutely, my friend. Take some time. Typical summer market. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have to be able to understand every type of market, at least understand what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and evaluate risk according to environment and according to behavior and according to signal in a very calm, non-emotional manner. So if they're sitting here spending a lot of time churning people around Globex, I have a choice to participate or a choice just to watch and not to be eager to jump in. I don't have to trade. I only have to trade what makes sense. So we know what a big behavior in the market looks like. And we know what a minor behavior looks like. So now it's just a function of let's wait. Let's wait and see. I'm gonna just take a step away here. I'm gonna step away for just a moment, get some water. I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back here. Yeah, so we're so ever slowly getting up to that range. And right on top of that Globex band. So we're going to be coming into some resistance here at 572 into the 581. Then after that, the 616 areas to be conscious of. Not really too interested to go long right here at these levels, but I'm going to be watching the market. I mean, unless something exceptional happen, um, kind of looking to see if that is going to hold or not. So far, if I look at the 200 and the 100, I mean they're both in sync and both on the long side, and it's been like that since 582. Excuse me, I said 582, 528. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Hadid. How are you, sir? 528. So that's what the market is doing. They're churning back up in ES as well. And if we're looking at Tesla, we see that they broke that channel and established a new channel on the upside. And that's we are in channel number one, channel number two of that sequence. And channel number two, I mean, we could kind of draw that to an extent this way. All right. So as long as we continue to protect 916 and on retracement hold on to 14, then that would continue that channel to the upside. Target number. So we went all the way back to Globex on. Well, I say Globex, but they don't have a Globex, so it's the Open, which is 830. Let's see if we can see anything else going on here. Amazon. Yeah. I need to accumulate more data here. I just started turning on the stocks on NT8. So here we go. I mean, they started uh, inception trade at 141 and we're at 142.63. So that's the signal. Let's see Google. No, I can't see nothing there. All right, here we got, oh, look at that. And look at that channel. We broke that channel and we shifted the cloud. We established inception trade at 241.66, then a switch trade at 242.01, and off you go to target 3. Target number 4 in the sequence is going to be 249.91. Okay, so here we're getting a bit of a pause in Q. Yeah, PJ. Yeah, I mean it's definitely kind of inching its way higher, and it's inching it into areas where there's a little bit of resistance going on here, and we're seeing where I may have to change the color so you guys see it a little bit clearer. But right here at 552 is the top end of the Globex band, and they just put a captain setup short and pulled it back in. So that's a sign that at least momentarily the market is pausing here. All right, guys, we're coming into the last 15 minutes of the morning session for us. And if you benefited from the stream that we put out there today, saw value, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share, let us know how you're doing, and turn on that bell button as well. We do appreciate it. Yeah, so far these are the decisions, and since the early price action, really we have not done much. 921. We started early too, which is surprising for me because I typically that first half an hour I kind of leave it alone. But I saw what I saw, and I felt like I can handle the risk within that range, and the market was not too crazy. So, and I kept it small just in case things gets a little bit, uh, the rotations get a little bit too busy. 765.52. So that's where we at.